Year 2, how are you? And welcome to today's maths lesson. Now, yesterday we started to look at a brand new type of graph called a pictogram, didn't we? Now, can you remember what a pictogram is and how it is different to a tally chart? Yes, that's right. They both represent data, but a tally chart represents data using tally marks and a pictogram represents data using pictures, or like yesterday, objects. So each of my minstrels was representing one person or one animal. Now, before we learn more about pictograms, let's warm up our brains with our flashback. So here's your flashback for today. You have 3 questions. In the first question, you have a tally chart, but you're missing the total number of children that walk to school. So could you have a look at the tally chart and work out how many children in total walk to school? Then number 2, what is 12 divided by 2? So could you use one of the methods that we've learned, either sharing or grouping, to help you answer this question? Then number 3, how much money is there altogether? So look at the value of one of the coins, and then can you create an addition or a multiplication number sentence to find out the total value? Okay, pause the video now and have a go at your flashback. Okay, Year 2, so let's go through them together. Well, when we look at this tally chart in number 1, we know that when there is a diagonal line, that represents the 5th child, okay? So we've got one here with the 5th line across, so we know that's 5, but then we've got another one and another one. So let's count up in 5s 3 times. So we've got 5, 10, 15, and then we have 2 more tally marks. So what's 15 add 2? Yes, it's 17. There are 17 children who walk to school. Now, number 2, what is 12 divided by 2? Well, here I have 12 counters. Shall we put them into 2 groups to find out the answer to our question? Well, can you see we've got 2 rows? So let's use the 2 rows as our 2 groups. There we go. I've put them into 2 groups. And how many counters are in each group? Well, there are 6 in the first group and there are 6 in the second group. So therefore, 12 divided by 2 equals 6. Okay, number 3, how much money is there altogether? Well, what is the value of one of these coins? Yes, it's 10 pence, isn't it? And how many of these coins do we have? Yes, we have 5. So we could write the addition number sentence, 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. Or, because we have 5 coins and they're all worth 10 pence, we could write 5 multiplied by 10. So let's count up in steps of 10 5 times. Can you tell me when we've counted 5 times? Okay, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I can all hear you telling me to stop counting. And what number did we get to? We got to 50. So there is 50 pence here altogether. Brilliant, Year 2. Well done if you got those right. Now let's carry on looking at pictograms. So here we have some pictures. We have some cars, we have some bicycles, and we have some feet which represent walking. So we are going to look at creating a pictogram for these different modes of transport. So this is how different children get to school. So they either go by car, by bicycle, or they walk. Now, can you see our key there? Remember, we have a key in geography when we draw a map, but we also have a key on a pictogram to tell us what each of the pictures represents. So one blue circle will represent one person. Okay, so let me start by looking at the cars. Well, remember when we did the tally charts, I crossed out the pictures as I went, didn't I, to make sure that I didn't count them again. So let me do the same this time. So I'm going to start with the first car, and that's one person who's told me that they go to school by car. So I'm going to cross it out, and then because one blue circle represents one person, I'm going to add 1 circle to my pictogram. And then I'm going to cross out my second car, which represents the second person that told me they go to school by car. So therefore, I only need 1 more blue circle because 1 blue circle represents one person. And then I have another car, so I need to add another blue circle for my next person. Then I'll cross out my car after that, and I'll add another circle because that's another person that told me that they go to school by car. And then my next car, and add my circle to represent that one person who goes to school by car. So there we go. Have I crossed out all of my cars? Well, yes, I've counted them all because I've crossed them out each time. So now I know that I've definitely counted them all. And look, I have 5 blue circles there. So that represents 5 people that go to school by car, because each circle represents one person. So the first one is the first person, the second one, the second person, the third person, the fourth person, and the fifth person. Okay, let me try the bicycle one now. Now, I sent you this pictogram on the resource Year 2 Maths, 4th of February, resource 2. So could you get this pictogram out or draw it? That's fine. And then let's try and do the bicycles together. Okay, Year 2. So let's have a go. Well, let's cross out our first bicycle. Okay, now we need to add that to our pictogram. Now that's one person that told me they go to school by bicycle, and one blue circle represents one person. So let's add one blue circle. Okay, then let's cross out our next bicycle and add our blue circle. Everybody added 2 blue circles now because we've crossed out 2 bicycles. So that is 2 people that go to school by bicycle so far because we've got 2 blue circles. Let's cross out the next one and add it to our pictogram, everybody. So that's our third person. And then cross out the next bicycle and add it to our pictogram. Now, have we got any more bicycles that we need to add? No, we haven't, have we? So therefore, we have completed the pictogram for bicycles. So now I'd like you to have a go at pausing the video and drawing the different pictures in the pictogram to represent the number of people that walk to school. Okay, remember, 1 blue circle equals 1 person. Pause the video now and have a go. Okay, Year 2, so let's go through it together. Well, I'm going to cross out my first pair of feet, and because that's one person that's told me that they walk to school, I'm going to add 1 blue circle because that also represents one person. So there's my first person, then cross out my next feet, second person, and my last feet, third person. Now, each time I add a blue circle, Year 2, why am I counting in ones? Yes, that's right, because each circle represents one person. There we go. We have finished that pictogram. So what I'd like you to do now is have a go at questions 1 and 2 on the worksheet. Year 2 Maths, 4th of February, resource 1. And when you've finished, come back to the video. Okay, Year 2, so let's carry on looking at pictograms. Oh, what do you notice about this pictogram? Yes, that's right. The last ones we've looked at have had rows, haven't they? But this one has columns. Now, this is a pictogram to show how many goals each of these people scored in their football match. Now let's have a look at the key. Well, the key says that 1 football equals 1 goal. So one picture of the football in the pictogram is going to represent 1 goal that that person scored. So I'm going to start with Teddy. Well, let's have a look at the tally chart because we're going to turn this tally chart into a pictogram. So how many tally marks has Teddy got? Yes, he's got 2 tally marks, and each tally mark represents 1 goal. So Teddy scored 2 goals. Now, how am I going to represent this on my pictogram? Well, if 1 football represents 1 goal, how many footballs am I going to need to represent 2 goals? Yes, I'm going to need 2 because 2 multiplied by 1 equals 2. So there we go. Let's add our first football to represent Teddy's first goal and our second football. Oh dear, what's wrong with that football? Yes, it's too big, isn't it? Because in a pictogram, we need to make sure that all of our pictures are the same size and that it's the same picture. So I couldn't have 1 picture of a football and then 1 picture of a flower. They all need to be footballs because that's what's in our key. So let me change that to a normal size football. So there we go. Have I completed the pictogram for Teddy? Well, yes, I have 2 footballs. So the first football represents his first goal, and the second football represents his second goal. So there you go. We have completed it for Teddy. Now we're going to do the next one together. So you also have this on resource 2. Or can you draw this pictogram for me? And then we will do it together. Okay, Year 2. So let's have a look at Annie's number of goals. Well, can you see that Annie has a diagonal line across? What does that mean, Year 2? Shout it to your screen. Yes, that represents the 5th goal. And then we have one more tally mark that's on its own. So 5 plus 1 equals 6. So Annie scored 6 goals. So how many footballs am I going to need, year 2? Can you shout it to your screen? Yes, I'm going to need 6. Well done. And why is that? Yes, because one football represents 1 goal. So 6 multiplied by 1, because she scored 6 goals, equals 6 footballs. Okay, so let's all add them together. Are you ready? You can just draw a circle. That's fine. You don't need to put the detail of the football in. Okay, so let's add our first football to represent Annie's first goal. Her second football to represent her second. Her third football to represent her third. Her fourth football to represent her fourth. Why am I counting up in ones, year 2? Yes, that's right, because each football represents 1 goal. Thank you for reminding me. So we've got 4 goals so far, and Annie scored 6. So we're going to need 2 more goals. So let's add another football to represent our 5th goal, and another football to represent our 6th goal. So there we go. We have completed the pictogram for Annie's goals. So now it's your turn. Can you pause the video and have a go at filling in the pictogram for Amia? Okay, year 2. So how many goals did Amia score? Well, let's have a look at our tally chart. Oh, we've got the diagonal line across. So therefore, that means he scored 5 goals. So how many footballs am I going to need? Well, 1 football is 1 goal. 5 multiplied by 1 equals 5. I'm going to need 5 footballs. So there's my first football to represent his first goal, my second to represent his second goal, his third goal, his fourth goal, and his 5th goal. Fantastic. There we go. We have changed this tally chart into a pictogram. So what I'd like you to do now is have a go at completing question 3 on resource 1. And when you're finished, come back to the video.